Hey, folks, welcome back to another DMing Hadley's game. I'm excited because tonight I get Ben all to myself. And we're playing a new game. Tonight, we're going to be playing Skies of Smoke. It is an Eberron inspired campaign. And we're going to do things a little differently here because tonight we're actually going to sort of flesh out who Ben will be playing. And I really appreciate that because this campaign's a little different. You really don't get the spectrum. In fact, it's very limited who you get to play as we get started. But those restrictions will change as the world sort of presents itself to the players and characters. So we're going to go through and do that process, and then we're going to have a bit of an introduction to this world. And I think the easiest way to describe it is it is a very Victorian era feeling steampunk, coom, arcane, magical engines and stuff like that. And well, there, as the title sort of tells you, there will be skies of smoke. And I'd love for you, Ben, to sort of talk on what you were talking about a second ago, and what you sort of got when you read, as you described it, the primer for this game.
Yeah, yeah, gladly. I was like, hi, my name is Ben. There, we don't not quite have now introductions, I think, because I don't
Uh,
have a character to
yeah,
introduce.
we're not. Yeah, we're not there yet. We'll do the round robin
Um,
when we start to play, I guess.
but yeah, the primer for the for Skies of Smoke, um, spoke on me on a very intimate level because I am a great in great appreciation of Victorian and Gothic elements, and especially those that contrasts societal disparity, or at least you would or could also call it like at least discriminatory circumstances. So when I this that there is practically a story to be told in an environment that is very much the gritty atmospheric Victorian thing, at least as it appeals to me, that maybe could be described in terms of Taboo, the series with Tom Hardy, or something along these lines. I was very excited by this prospect, and I immediately felt as the most prominent instance because it's the one that I have been exposed to most recent, of the beginning circumstance of the beginning of Arcane, uh, of this clear cut distinction of the undergrowth, where all these people ramble in very tightened circumstances, all this very dark and ramshackled, yet it's still functional, and all these people, even though struggling and striving also against each other, but holding together to keep it going. I love this thought, and I went from there to very much different places, um, of literature that I really enjoy. Like I don't know if people know it, but Patrick Rothfuss, one of my all time modern favorite modern authors, has wrote the Kingkiller Chronicles, and the beginning of the Kingkiller Chronicles, basically not the prologue where all is set up, this narration in a narration in a narration, basically. But the beginning of the King Chronicles, as it's going, the description of the early years of Goth, that is what I was thinking of immediately, like where he has in this ingeniously described way really has to struggle to survive as a newly orphaned individual in an immense city and in this underbelly of this festering, broken society.
Well, we're gonna do uh, all of that, all of that. I'm very excited about it, and I'm excited because all of this. I have an idea for setting, but I don't really have a hard and fast idea of what I or where I would steer this character as to their narrative arc. That is really going to be determined very much by the choices that you and ultimately other players and characters make in the game. And the world will grow in scale as the narrative stakes increase. And how quickly that happens is going to uh, be a lot driven by what choices your character makes. I think what I'm very excited about is that there's a space to explore, and sort of as characters explore this world, we will collectively learn more about it. I do not. There's no maps of this space. It will grow like a classic video game where the map reveals itself as you get there.
Oh,
Uh,
that's so good. I love this
uh,
song.
and it essentially will, I like to say, in my mind, it just sort of loads in, it just renders as we get there. And so, my visualizations of what come next are just sort of consistent with the setting. And I will introduce characters to you as it makes sense for them to be there. And I will expect that your character has some established contacts, and I will pass the baton to you to establish at least some of those, and we'll sort of use the system and the structure of Fifth Edition Dungeons and Dragons to guide the mechanics of the game. But since a lot of this is going to be in the story theater of the mind, we won't really rely quite so heavily on the virtual tabletop tactics and stuff like that. I want you to see it in your brain hole,
In
not
my
on
brain.
not on the screen. If you didn't see either one of us, you wouldn't need to because it's all in there already. Um,
I also am very much in favor of them.
I do still I like playing on it. I just hate the shift in cadence, and I like a pace to my games. I get a lot done in 2.5 hours. I essentially get five or more hours of gameplay tucked into 2.5 hours because I don't pull out the maps and there's a lot of time lost on that. There's going to be a lot of vivid hallucinations that we get to share with one another. But with all that said, let's do some character building here. You're on D&D Beyond in my campaign, yeah?
Uh, I always struggle with finding a
Here,
way. If you could send me a
right here,
link.
right, baby, hey, baby, hey, baby. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. It's just that easy.
Yes. Where are you, beautiful Link?
So if you're out there and watching, we are just about to get started with the character building part of the program, and we're going to do it from scratch. And it sounds like we're going to do it from scratch with when it comes to the sort of character inspiration as well, a little bit. And part of the primer was that the characters have to be human, and they are orphaned, and part of their experience is that they are responsible for waste reclamation, and I think we just went with one level of fighter, and we will get to pick some interesting things around that, and so I think let's start at the very beginning. Have you added a character to my campaign?
He's currently loading the character builder.
Great.
But so, as I said, this was really I mentioned it before to Hadley. This was really short term for me. I did normally, and Hadley has to take the brunt of that. I I have a very drawn out character creation process where I contemplate a lot and write things and put them into perspective, see how different elements fits and shuffle them around. A lot of writing basically, but I haven't done anything at this point. I have some ideas and inclinations. What I believe the most prominent thing I would really like to do is, as I'm very fond of the portrayal of that character, I would like to build basically a young Amos from The Expanse.
Uh, People tell me I should see it, but it's hard. It's hard to consume all of the media these days.
It's absolutely, and I can appreciate it. So basically, what Amos is a. I think you can say that without going crazy overboard. Amos is a sociopathic, highly efficient, efficient physical guy that is very good at engineering, that is extremely good at hurting and killing people, and who is, yet he is not evil. He is very self-aware about him and his predilections, his dispositions, and so what he makes a habit of is finding guiding stars, finding people that have the right morals that he can follow without having to worry if he is still doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
He finds the people that are doing the right things and just follows them, and is 100% consequential in his loyalty. He finds the people that do the right thing. He finds the people that need his help, and he helps them, and he does it with such fantastic grace and with really no regard to anything but protecting them, helping them, being loyal to them, and following through on his promises to them.
I love this. So yeah, I'll say this: the one thing that I'm looking forward to here is establishing who those people are for you. And I think that we will probably see a sharper perspective of that character as they grow from where we're going to begin. But how quickly you get there, like I said, is going to be determined by your character choices, and how quickly, again, the narrative stakes grow.
Shall,
Um,
shall I take variant human or normal human?
let's get to it. I would like for you to choose one mark.
Mark. Oh yeah, I've forgotten about this. It is hit points manually. Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
You should be able to refresh it. I went through and clicked a couple of things for you.
It should be. I think it should be all right. Okay, marks. Marks. Back to human.
Yeah.
What are the marks again? I am scatterbrained.
There's a lot of them.
Yes, there's mark of finding, handling, making passage, sentinel. Think that other ones. Ooh, I see. I see. They have this. They have this little paragraph and parentheses that explain their general connotations.
Mm-hmm. So variant human mark of finding. If your human has the mark of finding, you replace all racial traits found in the PHB, except for age, size, and speed. Ability scores, your wisdom increases by 2, your constitution score increases by 1. You get dark vision, hunter's intuition. So when you make perception or survival checks, you get an extra D4 to those. And you also have finder's magic. You can cast Hunter's Mark with that trait, and at third level, you can also cast Locate Object, and then you get those back a long rest. So just once a day. And Wisdom is your spell casting ability. Common, you're not going to get Goblin. You probably don't. I don't know. You might get Goblin. We'll see how that goes. That'll establish a bit of the world. And you get spellcasting. At first level, Fairy Fire and Longstrider.
I think what makes sense would be the mark of the sentinel.
Let's take a look at the Sentinel.
Well, mark of sentinel, it says it heightens senses and reflexes, allowing an heir to respond to threats with uncanny speed. It can shield its bearer from harm. On the battlefield or ballroom, someone who carries the mark of sentinel is prepared for danger. I would believe that this is the thing I would like to play. I don't have a name for them yet, but I think in this general guiding scheme of an Amos to construct, that is something that is very telling of him. He is whip smart when it comes to spatial awareness and awareness of danger, and he is immensely talented with his own sociopathic disposition to spot other ones that are like him. He can see killers as he himself is a killer, basically.
Yeah.
And the ones that are dangerous.
What else do you get here? Your constitution increases, so you're really tough. You get a bonus to wisdom, which will help with your perception and survival checks. This is interesting, and I am looking forward to leaning into this in a particular way, and that is your guardian's shield. You can cast a shield spell with this trait, and that's pretty powerful, especially for a level 1 character. That's not specifically a wizard. And I would like to see that in some sort of contraption almost that you're able to create that does that. And that sort of brings me to magic in this world. It is verboten. There's no telling how many people.
Quite good.
Oh, thank you. And it is. No one knows how many people in the what did we well your character is in quote unquote underling, although you are about to age out, and this lower sort of we'll just say class of this space does struggle quite a bit. From day to day, not necessarily, but as you described, that infighting that comes from feeling like every little morsel counts is omnipresent here. And unfortunately, you're pretty sure that there are people who can use magic. You're aware of that. It's a close enough sort of community, but no one would ever speak of it. No one would ever, like, even if you knew someone else was using magic, you wouldn't fucking say anything. And the fact that you know you can use magic is disconcerting, and something that I think you have to keep in check, especially as your temper rises. Um, just to let you know that the use of magic will differentiate you, perhaps not from the populace, but from those who are able to hide their abilities. I do like this though. Compel, Duel, and Shield of Faith you will get at first level if I read that correctly, and that will be interesting to see how those work out. What else? Anything else there that stands out?
No, I think Vigilant Guardian, of course, in this respect is very telling.
Yeah,
Also because it shows this duality. Very much the character I'm going to portray has been hardened and pragmatized by a very traumatic upbringing and childhood, mostly suppressed, and it's this double-edged sword at the end because it leads to this very detached pragmatism where you are very aware of a dog eats dog world,
yeah.
and you are a talented survivor in this world, and straightforward, fearless, without any hesitation, going to survive in it. But in that, you develop this intense sense of preservation of the few things that are really worth fighting for, and the few people that are worth protecting and following. So I think the aspect of being able to protect yourself on the one hand, but also extending this protection to the ones you do care about, even if they are few, are really good.
Um, as we, so you're going with Sentinel, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. For class, it's just fighter. It's the only option you get.
No, that's all fine.
I don't know if there's any choices when it comes to. You did get a fighting style, so let's see
Yeah, fine.
what you like in that.
Let me see the options once again. Hmm. I mean, there are things where you could go a little bit more interesting, but I think flat out. I mean, Sentinel always all at itself gives me already the option of protection, right?
Right.
I can use my reaction, Sentinel, yeah, and my reaction uh, to no. What is it with Sentinel? Do I take the attack or do I disoppose advantage as it's here? Because this would be two
Um,
different.
I think there's two parts to Sentinel, and I think that if somebody moves past you when you hit with an attack, they can't continue moving. And yeah, I'm not sure how if it's. Let's take a look. Guardian. That's interesting. You use your reaction to swap places with the creature for Vigilant Guardian. That's nice.
Mhm.
Where is the Sentinel? Let's see here. Archery, probably not.
I think archery is well meant.
Blind fighting, probably not. Defense might be interesting. That is where you can, I think, impose disadvantage as long as you have a shield, which I mean, maybe you can cast that and impose disadvantage.
Shield is not the same as a physical shield.
I have a feeling that that the way I see you developing sort of shield is in some sort of mechanical apparatus, and
Okay.
and I think that that's in line sort of with both what you were talking about, that this character is capable and understands engineering, right? And I look forward to hearing what you come up with for that. You also very well may end up using technology as sort of a focus for your spell casting. I think that that's a powerful way to develop that in this world and in line with what we would likely see. If if even just to disguise the fact that you're able to use magic, that you can just say it's technology.
Let's quickly note this. Oh man, D&D Beyond. What are you doing? Load.
The refresh rates. I know there's a lot of people playing Dungeons and Dragons right now, but the refresh.
There are a lot of you. There really are a lot of you guys.
I got more than a few people in my games, so I get it. But damn, the amount of time to turn on and off characters. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's like it is honestly my only complaint. When it comes to D&D Beyond, it makes it so easy to do. I did 2 characters, 2 levels up. It took maybe 30 minutes to take both of their characters up. And I'm like, if we were doing this out of a book, I would be in hell right now. I absolutely could not do it. So kudos on them. Thank you for making it easy.
Okay, just let me.
Okay.
Let's do it this way.
So you're good with armor, and you likely will have some measure of, I would at least say, bodily protection. I don't know if I would necessarily call it armor, although it probably wouldn't take much to just reinforce some areas and it be pretty good. You could probably just put like pockets made like of leather stitched to the heavy jacket because you're around machinery and moving parts and sparks at times, and so it's expected that you have. It's not real leather. It's sort of a synthetic pressed porous uh, uh, like polymer structure, because everything down here is recycled. And it is rare to get fresh anything. But you guys, there's as we sort of get into the world a bit more, you will see that there are certain resources in abundance. Uh, so we'll get to that in due time. Um, what else? What else? Did you choose your skills, fighting skills?
It's still my accessibility problems. But in a time upon a few things, I really like the idea of substituting magic in a sense, at least, to be portrayed in the framework of technology, or more specifically so of engineering. I think that is a very interesting way to put this in into conceptualization of this character. Um, yes, I have to revisit the Sand Mark one time to see how this goes with protection, because I like protection as a fighting style,
Sure.
but I don't know if it's a redundancy with the Sentinel element.
I mean, I don't think that. I mean, as we look through, and I think protection intervention makes sense then there. The only thing that I would think that would be more appropriate, or not even appropriate, even an option, would be unarmed fighting. And because I don't think that most
Oh
people around here carry traditional weapons.
no, I would agree with you. I really much think even so that I have to see with the name. I have to see with the name for this one, and I going to do that in a second. But that they would be very physical.
Yeah.
Like, it is something they just developed out of the traumatic upbringing.
Oh yeah,
That
for
just
sure. I mean, how many
this
kids you're?
high, yeah,
So I think as a character, I think you're probably like 16.
yeah,
Is about the age I see them. Much older, and they would be far more independent, but right now they're sort of on the last leg of uh, being essentially beholden to this orphanage, which is it is a great place to have been for the last 9 years.
yeah.
Great place.
I I mean it's just I think this hyper pragmatism just went through a very simplified equation of things that at the end leaves you with the understanding that physical superiority, of physical the advantage of a very proud of a very prowess written physical advantage will give you the edge you need in many situations to survive. So I think
Uh,
is a good way to portray that.
I love it. But yeah, I'd say protection or unarmed.
I shouldn't unarmed. I think that's
Okay,
a very good thing.
okay,
Um,
great.
I don't know what to go with my proficiencies though. That is more hard.
Let's take a look at that real quick together. So athletics probably a good choice.
Yeah.
I would say insight, honestly,
Yeah,
is probably where I'd see your character given the description,
I,
because he knows he's able to read the room. That's part
yeah,
of
I
his sort
think
of
it's really
pragmatic.
just necessity because with the sociopathic tendencies, you cannot really be sure about people.
Right.
So you have to develop an understanding or a way to gauge people's intent and to see through them.
I'm going to probably have you roll a lot of insight checks.
Yeah,
And I will also just say you can, that is one, when it comes to rolling, let me know what you want to do before you roll on, I'd say anything but insight. If you want to roll an insight check, go ahead and yeah, and you don't. I don't know if you're. I mean, you're going to be trained in it, so your passive might
yeah.
not be awful.
I
But
think I go even just for the double edge. I think I just go for insight and perception. It's I think
those are the
it's
two best. Those are the two best skills to have at my table, man. Uh,
I mean, that's not even what I thought. What I thought of. I know how you run your games by now, but I just think it
it
is
makes sense why
incremental.
that character's going to notice somebody moving in the shadows. That
Yeah.
character's going to. He's always amped a little bit
Yes.
from living in this world.
Yeah. So
A little
C2,
frayed, even.
I think there's abilities. So where are my generation method? Yeah, manually.
We're gonna go through. Yeah, we're gonna go through manually, and we're gonna go through manually, and I think you'll enjoy that. Bear with me just a second. Do. One sec. And let me take one real quick here. When you get the fighting, so hey, here you go. Hey, Merry Christmas. Optional feature manager. I knew there was something in there. I'm glad I turned that on. Your fighting style option means that instead of your strikes being a D6 plus strength, they're
The
a
D8.
D8.
Yeah. It's just
Uh,
like I really if you just type in just a Amos the Expanse and see one of the pictures where this guy is shirtless, it's insane. The physique that this actor has been built for that role, it is just insane.
do, 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 do. Uh, okay, here's what I like to do. We're gonna do manual. Um, we're gonna do this. I'm not gonna roll any dice. You're not gonna roll any dice.
Oh,
And I had some restrictions for the character stats that I'm not going to impose as draconianly. Um, I think what I had was like it was like 8, 8, 8, 10, 10, 12, or something like that.
mm-hmm.
I'll have to go back and take a look at it. Let's see here.
I mean, if you want me to
Yeah, it was 8, 10, 10, 10, 11, 12. I think that I think that for this character doesn't those stats don't match up with your character. Your character's a little older than I
yeah.
initially thought we'd be starting with.
I mean, I'm
Um,
perfectly fine with just taking the 8 for charisma. I think that would be perfectly fair. He's not he I don't know yet, maybe she.
yeah, we
They're
don't know yet.
not charismatic, not at all. They're very. It's this very sociopath way of being straightforward, not lying, just always
I'll also say this: that charisma gets a bad rap because a lot of people think that charisma is just how charming you are.
No, it's not that. It's also like how are you just on a basis of bodily communication. You don't have to be charming with words or something. You can be just someone who has this physical aura or
Right.
air about themselves that other people like you. And it's also just you can be just someone who is very good at communicating on a level that is not even overtly charismatic talk,
Right.
just in the way you handle things, you do things. There are
Um,
a lot of ways for charisma to work.
yeah, I don't. I certainly don't mind that being the dump stat. That does make sense. But let's go through stat by stat and talk about a 16-year-old who is very adept at engineering, almost on an intuitive level. I would think at that age, you are either tough enough or fast enough. And I want to say that if you went with unarmed fighting,
Yeah,
I would give you either dex or strength when it comes to your attacks.
yeah. I
So
think it's strength.
okay, a little more brute. Okay. Um, so yeah, so with that, uh, you're you're gonna be tougher than the average 16-year-old when it comes to strength. And stats, as much as I hate them, Dungeons and Dragons is just statistics. 10 is
Yeah,
10 is average, and for every point you get, it is a standard deviation from the norm.
yeah.
And so, what would you say that standard deviation is for
I'm not
him?
quite sure. I mean, you have a very good point. It's still adolescents that we are playing here, so you
Yeah,
cannot go
but I don't.
crazy.
Have you seen fucking 16-year-olds who are like fucking like on wrestling teams and
Yeah,
shit like that?
there are fucking tough streakers out there. I'm not gonna challenge that,
Yeah.
and also fiercely intelligent ones.
So you're probably in, the top 3 to 5% of the tougher, stronger. You probably work with dense materials, especially if you're doing engineering stuff, whether it's metals or fuels or liquids. So you're dealing with a lot of that. So you're going to be stronger by a lot for that sort of industry. Let's give you a 14 in strength, and that'll put you in. You're not going to come across a lot of people
Yeah,
who are tougher than you.
and
Um,
that's very reasonable.
at least not
I
at
think.
that age range.
Yeah, I think in the same birth they are not particularly dexterous in that sense. It's not just something they cared about because they more saw to it that an edge in their receptiveness
Yeah, made
in
up for their
their
lack of reaction time.
yeah.
I still want to give them a bonus. So let's do 12 on your dexterity. Let's give you a 13 on your 13 on your constitution. I think that'll end up making it 14 with your
I
mark
think
bonus.
Constitution 2. Yeah, Constitution is 2.
Is it 2 to constitution?
Yes, plus 2, so
Then make it
12.
12. Yeah.
Yeah,
And we'll save that 13. What are we up to next? Intelligence?
intelligence.
I think intelligence, you are going to be a 10.
Yeah,
I think that at
I would say
16, your aptitude for things comes from an instinctive place. You
Yeah, I think
understand engineering stuff.
it's a good description. I think in being a little bit more neurodivergent at that, it
Sure.
is you have a talent for some things, but you have to very much work hard to balance other things out. And I think if you put this into an attribute, that would be just be on the birth on the level, just be 10.
I think that I think we almost see you think in gears, and I think we see certain systems almost representing your brain's depth of understanding, as well as when that system may be overtaxed.
Yeah, it's very. I think it's very open always. There is not a lot of facade or veneer or anything.
Right.
They are very straightforward with anything. So you literally see the cogs turning in their head when there's something that
I
bothers.
I wonder if there's not an effect of that where people sort of interrupt this peaceful, harmonious state. Because I can almost see you conceptualizing all these different gears and presses and mechanics, almost to the point that you can perceive huge warehouses of of intricacies. And when people do things, it interrupts that harmony that you've been able to create
Yeah.
with that understanding, that really innate conceptualism. And when that's broken, it's almost like, why are you interrupting me? Can't you see that I'm building a fucking,
And
factory in
also
my head?
like when people like fuck up systems, or when they would be fun to someone, and someone comes up and are addressing them in a hostile way or something, it's just immediate going there, punching them in the face just right away, not with any hesitation or
Right.
reconciliation of this, just being. And then when they ask what the fuck are you doing, they fucking come at you. So I
Right.
put them down.
I think I think that brutal sort of inspiration uh, is uh, is interesting. We'll probably get into this more in game, but I think you're starting to get to a point where you're realizing that brutality has kept you afloat,
Yeah.
but is starting to fail you as a means to an end.
Yeah.
So I look forward to touching on that. Wisdom. You get your bonus +1 to wisdom.
Well, yeah, +1.
So let's put a 13 in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll put an 8
If
for
I
charisma.
11 or 13, I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 8 with charisma. I think
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
Great. Sweet. Let me get out of here real quick.
I think charisma with 8 is also very good of this element. There is a lot of brutality in the way that is communication for them.
Yeah.
It was always seeing the world in the confines of dog eat dog, and so
Right.
communication is basically always who hits first and who hits hardest.
Yeah.
And at some level of of civilization or society, you cannot interact in this way prosperly. You have to
Right.
find a way to mediate this. And this is
Uh,
a element of him of them finding people who guide them. Just so he does not have this urges, or is like the mediated by them or mitigated.
I love it. I want to also say that, like I said, this world, I have a general setting that I have in mind, but I will also say that what you establish for your character. If there were 4 people here, each of their characters would inform this world. You're the only one here. So far. And that means that you get dibs on sort of just how dark and just how gritty we go in this space.
I think I want to leave it approachable for because I am like deep dark grid. That is my literal my literacy gold when I do my readings, my studies, and my own writings. But I think it should be at least approachable for people that are maybe intimidated by it, or that are.
If you're intimidated, hey, listen. If you're out there and you're watching this video right now and you're thinking to yourself, "I might want to play in this Skies of Smoke campaign," but I wonder if it might be too gritty. The answer is probably yes.
Yes, yes.
If you have to ask, if you're not ready for that grit and that grime and that smoke, if you're not ready for that smoke, don't come for it. I'm just trying to help everybody out here. This is not a happy-go-lucky place. Yeah, I mean, get grimy, baby. If you're feeling grimy, do it.
Just one thing.
Jesus.
That is Amos. Like, look at this physique. This
is Louises. Crazy. Look at that lap meat. You could put, man, I could make so many tacos out of that.
You have scenes where you see his full back, but even in this side, you can see how
flat iron steak right there. Jesus.
That is so. This actor is incredible.
Amazing. Y'all could just melt me down for candles when you're done with me. I'm well marbled.
Just making soap out of you, just Fighting Club style.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do it. Make bars of soap, whatever. Don't waste me by just chucking me in the ground. There's a lot of me here. Use it. I've been telling people that for years.
You would be a feast for all the Nikolaites.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Eat me.
Do you have a predetermined background?
No, which is bringing us around the bend here, somewhat. Here's the deal with languages.
Language marker.
You are going to speak Daelkyr.
Yes, I have it.
You don't know that yet.
Okay.
Your background. Haunted one would be interesting. Also, you don't have to rock the flavor text when it comes to backgrounds. I am only concerned with the mechanics of how the backgrounds affect you.
That's fair. So Haunted one gives you also language.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
That's not true. Do you want another language? I'll give you another language. I'll give you another language. You don't know you speak it.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. All right.
You get a normal language and an exotic language.
Okay. Great. Let's take a look at this. This is going to be fun. I think this is going to somewhat fall in line with that mentality, to the point that in some ways your brain almost just feeds the sounds into your head and processes through a machine, and like a fucking fax prints out the other side,
Yeah.
and you're like, did you say this?
Yeah, it's just not the awareness that you are able to transmogrify or translate language. You just know what people said without
uh,
like control
right.
of it.
Okay. Great. Great.
I mean, also like it gives you the choice for two additional skill proficiencies
Yes.
between survival, arcane, investigation, and religion.
Uh,
So survival is the I mean like the clear one.
I would go. I mean, you could do survival, or you could do Arcana, and that would sort
I
of
mean,
speak to your base
survival,
understanding of engineering.
yeah, I mean survival and arcana. I would just say.
Yeah, I'm glad that's a choice. Uh,
Did I click that or did you do it? This like Loxodon.
I chose Loxodon for you,
Okay.
and do. Man. Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah, I like the description of Heart of Darkness. Those who look into your eyes can see that you have faced unimaginable horror. Just
Yep.
just just on like a modern level of this, just like
Ooh.
societal horror.
Ooh. How very exciting. Oh, how very exciting. No, wait, come. Look. Oh, thank you. Um, there's a chicken wing on my plate, y'all. Mm.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
what a
dirty.
sexy chick.
Mm. Mm. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's wrong with you? Show the people the pizza. No, it won't. Um.
That
Okay.
camera. It doesn't gives us anything.
I gotta get a. I gotta get a. I got a different webcam, and it overrides my microphone, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. So I sent it back. I was not pleased.
I
Uh,
always have to get into it doesn't change its back, so that's a good thing. But I also always have to get into the settings and
mhm,
change from the camera of my
mhm.
of from the microphone of my camera to my actual
Right.
microphone.
Mm-mm. Man, that's good. Mm-mm. Mm. I gotta set that aside. Okay. So, what else?
I equipment and don't think there's anything particular to do from my standpoint of
Let's
view.
take a look.
But you have some ideas.
This all looks good. Starting equipment. Let's just go through and see what we've got.
Yeah,
Do. Skip the.
like the first choice.
Let's do chainmail.
Okay.
Let's do two. Let's call them martial weapons. We'll call it
Two martial
a
ones.
club.
Club, where are you?
Um,
A mall. I think club is not there. That would be
Maul.
simple.
A maul could be good.
Yeah. Like something big and two-handed, I think that is fitting.
Yeah, something you probably use like a almost like a sledgehammer.
Yeah. Like more for
Um,
engineering purpose than really to fight with it. Just
right.
they use their fists, but it's there.
And then let's do a short sword, and that's going to essentially be a multi purpose sort of bladed
Yeah,
item that you have.
like
Uh,
cutting wires, making connections.
yeah,
Um,
it is very durable. And I think what we see is a blade that sort of goes into a pick at the top with like a tool hardened hook on it, so that you like chop into things with it, and then you can
mhm.
almost use it as a shovel. This wider blade.
I
Um,
think that there will also be at the top um, this indentation, this hook almost to the other side
yeah,
that like
you can draw and
fireman's
cut, and yep,
or cable
absolutely,
and stuff.
yep, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that. And uh, what do you think? Maybe sawtooth on the front,
I don't know.
or just serrations?
Yeah, I think at the bottom the serrations to like saw something if need
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Do. We're gonna skip the light crossbow and hand axes. Let's see what we've got in Dungeoneers pack. No. Explorers
Okay.
pack. Uh, you do have a. You'd probably just have a satchel on any given day.
Yeah.
Most of the demands that are made of you are at work.
Yeah. I think
Uh,
it's a slingshot bag or something.
a
With
sling messenger bag. Yeah.
yeah, messenger bag, something like that.
You'll probably have like a wineskin. You'll
Yeah.
probably have some sort of like multi-tool contraption,
Yeah.
or a small set of tools. So let's make sure you've got Tinker's tools.
Hmm.
You do not have a Monster Hunter pack.
So I will get rid of the Monsanto pack. I skip a light the two last choices.
Yeah, refresh your page for me real quick. Let's see if
Okay.
that's stuck.
Uh,
Chain is heavy. Remove. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna give you studded. I'm gonna give you leather armor. I'm gonna give you leather armor. Great. And I really hate that they don't have cestus as weapons in 5e. These like knuckle protectors for
yeah,
pugilists.
the leather wraps with like stuffs.
Whatever you want, baby. You can go smooth metal. You can go spikes. You can go fucking nuts. I would
Yeah.
also say that if you felt inclined, you could do regularly a d6 of damage, and let's say you have maybe in your pockets these two cestus you could pull out and be like, I'm gonna really give you a hammering now. That way you don't accidentally kill someone.
I mean, would it be this? I, I mean, there are these contraptions or these designs, better so to say, in engineering or in this very more analog kind of technology, where you have those handhold protections on
Right.
levers
Yes.
and on other things
Just
that you
straight knuckle dusters.
yeah, and just like those broken, or like disassembled from the leather itself at
Yeah.
some point, and just at this point, just this west bit of leather and then the hand protection.
I love it. I love it. Great. You might have to add a custom item there. But I love the idea that you've just got those in your pockets, and when it's
Yeah,
ting
or just
ting.
like hooked on the belt, like
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I
stuff
like
like
that. Uh, yeah, it's a little more forward.
yeah, I don't think they would hide it. That's not their character. They. I mean, they people might not know what they are if they don't know them, but if they know
Right.
them, they know what they are.
I really like that. I like that sort of like the grip part is like tucked behind the belt, so you really just have to like sweep your hands up underneath
Yes,
them
like
and just
it's
like
motion you have
boom,
it.
just like ooh. All right, that's great. I love that. Let's see here. Leather armor, yes, good. Anything else you need?
No, I just now looking for a name.
That's all. That's always the hardest part. That's what I tell folks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. I know why they took a. I remember now. Amos is in its original meaning out of Hebrew. It is to bear something.
Mm,
The bear,
mm,
the parent or the loaded. So that is something good. I
amazing.
think I would like to go along those lines. Um, let's see.
Mm, mm, mm,
I think like something to endure.
mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. What's it called? What's it called? I'm thinking about steel, or
Oh,
crucible,
hmm.
something forged, hardened, something created under pressure.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Hmm. I'm just talking about how I generally don't like to eat on camera. Um, but I'm making an exception because as soon as I'm done with this game, I got another game. So I'm going to have to do it. Plus, it's a little casual tonight. So.
Yeah, I mean it's just the two of us, and I don't take any offense by that. So you just go ahead.
Nothing left on the bone. Masterpiece.
Oh, I mean, Atlas would be a good one.
Atlas is good.
Yeah, Atlan.
Not bad.
And just that, so there's no real second name, so just Atlan.
Why would you have a last name?
No, he doesn't know. I think I go for a he. I think that's appropriate here. Okay.
Hey, remember what I said about magic?
Yeah.
They got the same sort of feelings about gender.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that in a very rigid society to be a thing.
Great. This is great. Good. Lovely. I want to celebrate something with you. I always try and point it out. It's my absolute favorite thing to do when I play games. And if you watch any of my old videos, I will have said this before. My favorite thing to do is to open an absolutely blank Google Doc at the beginning of a game. It is my true delight to start with a blinking cursor on a fresh white screen and have nothing down. So here we go. I get to enjoy that for a moment. Magnificent. And now I get to enjoy pizza.
Now to my expansive Pinterest board of character artwork.
Yes, let the Pinterest boards begin. All right.
I have to find a fitting picture.
Let me go to the. Did you turn off private for the character sheet? Why can I not see your character sheet? Public.
I did not. I just went to my character sheet. I did not anything else beyond that.
Let's see if it'll let me do it. There we go. Great. Beautiful.
Right at 16. I cannot go too old.
Wait, say that again.
I have to remember that he's 16, so I have to.
Oh yeah.
To keep that.
For now.
Yeah. Of course. Something to remember, surely.
Surely. Something to look forward to, you know?
I mean, I cannot take something too square-jawed, because that always looks very...
I mean, I don't know. There could be something sort of sinister in his look at that age. Something far more mature.
I mean, I sure need something with very dead eyes. Or at least...
Sweet. Here's the character. Just like that. 14 hit points. 14 hit points.
Didn't I set it, or did you do it? I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. That did seem a bit low. You're fine. It's a D10, right? It should be 20-something.
Yeah.
I should be able to hit you harder than that, my friend.
I mean, it's level 1, so it's kind of wide, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe it is. I was thinking 2.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's level 1.
It's like a D10 and then plus... it's a D12, because they max out the die and then give you Constitution bonus, so it's a D12 plus 2. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great.
14 is
14 hit points.
Oh god.
Here we go.
I was so comfortable yesterday, and just like a jazzy 45 hit points plus.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Oh, that truly was yesterday.
Today you have an armor class of 12.
Mm.
Um,
Well, yesterday it was 14, so it was not exorbitantly higher. So
That's 10% less chance of getting hit.
true at that. True at that.
Let's see here. You got a maul. You got a short sword. So I like this. I like the way that it's laid out. And that is that it for an unarmed strike. Essentially, the minimum damage you're going to do is 3. So if you just take a swing at somebody, you're going to do 3 points of damage. It's almost nicer for you to stab someone than it is to really generate all that knuckle busting power and leaning in and hitting someone. And I really like that. So when you pull those things off your belt, that's going to be when we go into that fighting style and go from there.
I think I found a picture that I like.
So you a righty or a lefty?
I mean, ambidextrous is always something peculiar, but if that is not an option, I think rather go to left-handed.
Okay. Your left hand is going to be the 1d8 plus 2. Your right hand is going to be the 1d6 plus 2. And you can use it as your bonus attack.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
There you go. So you'll get obviously, like you said, you lay down the hammer pretty hard, pretty early, and I think that that's in line with how your character would do things.
Yeah.
Same bonus to hit, obviously.
That's cool.
Let's see here. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna give you those 2 things you got. A water skin. Can't forget your water skin. Stay hydrated, everybody. Seriously, it's very important. Drink your water.
And it's a tough world out there.
Lots of water. Drink the water.
You gotta be very.
Oh no, I lost him. Oh, there he comes. Are you coming back? He's coming back. Yes, there he is. Lost you for a second there, buddy. What else did you have? All right. Now that, my friend, is a list of inventory. That's what an inventory is supposed to look like right there. Clothes, common. Leather, armor. Maul, which is essentially just a big hammer, sledgehammer you've got. Short sword. Where do you keep that short sword on you when it's on you?
I think it is for accessibility's purposes. like horizontally put on the belt,
Ah,
on the back.
that's
Yeah.
how I do it.
Yeah.
I got a little short sword. That's where I keep it.
That's how I do all my knives too. All my
Yeah.
all my knives like this one is also like on the back of my
Smaller back. Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Beautiful. Water skin. And that's it, kids. There is you do have a quote backpack just for inventory purposes of like
Yeah, like the slingshot bag.
right. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Um, this is all real good. Do you need a feat?
I mean I don't. But if you are fond of the idea, I can understand that. But I would take one if it's possible. But I don't.
Okay. Um, yeah. You're gonna take Artificer Initiate.
Artifice Initiate. That sounds interesting. Loading my character sheet still because I added the picture.
Hmm. Um, fantastic. You got the feet in there?
Let me change here. Oh my god. I have to navigate this. Features and traits. Manage feats. Artificial Initiate.
Yes. And then you're gonna choose um, either Tinker's Tools, Alchemist Supplies.
Or what I really would like in that sense would be uh, the Tinker's tools, like the slingshot backpack, not only being the backpack where he stuffs his things in, but also being a tool belt, basically.
Right.
Like having the tools
Yes.
across the chest
Yes.
and then the backpack space
Yes.
beyond.
Yes. Good. Good. And then spells that you can't outwardly cast because someone will find out about you and they'll send people to kill you, or at least whisk you away. They pretty much think everybody that goes dies.
Well, that would not be the first time they try to do that.
That might be accurate, and that is something that, as a character, you will have the flexibility of establishing. Oh. Mm.
Okay. Tinker's tools. Did you already put him there? Should I do that?
I'm sorry, say again.
Only the Tinker's tools.
Once you selected it, should maybe it just gave you proficiency. Yes, do add that, please.
That is no problem. There they are. Right, did you? Yes, I couldn't. Okay. I have that one too.
Good.
Wonderful.
Good. Oh God. No, suspect.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, the picture. I love this picture. It's the perfect kind of eyes for what I had in mind. Let me just. Like this one, I think it is. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Damn, what is taking you so long?
Oh, there you are. Wow. The pale skin is very appropriate.
Yeah, I thought about that too. But I think the most fitting thing is just this eyes, the look.
Yeah, nicely done. Sweet.
And I would say that fits still with a 16-year-old. It's maybe a little defined, but I think it still goes on. It goes quite above that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. I hope someone in the future gets to watch this and gets to look back on how much I'm enjoying this pizza. I hope it delights you. Seriously, I do. It's because it's delighting me.
It was the conflux of my thinking and my putting together that you are there in some kind of synchronicity, just enjoying a meal, and I think that it's wonderful.
I'm so grateful. Mm, it's
You
delicious.
really look it.
I'm having
You
a
really
great
look
time.
it.
Okay, let's see here. Did you done all the character things?
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay. You want to play Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Let's find out what this character is.
Let's. You let's begin as we should with all of the games. With a round robin. It's not so circular today, but I don't think that it can be helped, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
So Ben,
Yeah. Somewhere.
you're gonna have to do the thing, but during the round robin, we like to do four distinct things. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. The second thing we do is share with one another and the world our pronouns. The next thing we do is introduce our characters. And the last thing, but certainly not the least, is we offer a vivid, aesthetic description of that character so that they may live in each and every one of our brain holes. Because I like to vividly hallucinate with my friends on the internet for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 6 days a week, often multiple times per day, and today is no different. So, without further ado, Ben, you've been great so far, but take it away and show the folks at home how it's done.
Yeah, so let's try this. That's a new one for me too. So, hi everybody, my name is Ben, pronouns are they, them. And today for the first time, and hopefully in the future returning to him, I have made with the wonderful assistance of our good Hadley here a character just on the spot. That's very unusual for me.
Yeah, I love it.
And so yeah, going to that character. So listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just Atlan, right? I can be your greatest asset in your toolbox, or I can be the fucking worst nightmare you ever had. Just depending on which side on the fence you're on. Okay? So if you don't cross me, I have no problem with you. But if you do, well, that's a shame, isn't it? And I think Adlan is is a hardened individual for this very young age of 16. Very broad-shouldered, very tall, um, and with a certain sense of purpose on them and perpetual awareness. Very driven individual, always seen doing something for the purpose of constantly being on the move, like a shark almost. I have dark hair, very pale complexion, under the shackle clothing of a young aspiring engineer. Very durable, tough clothing that is kept pristine as it's possible in a work environment where you're constantly connected to some source of debris or some source of stainment, and a utility belt over their chest, slingshot bag at the back connecting to it, two former lever handles just clicked on a belt to be brought in at a moment's notice to form for the ones knowing him, the notorious knuckle dusters that they can give a hell of a beating out with if necessary. Big engineering sledgehammer, always with their infamous multi-purpose tool in form of a bladed, serrated, and hooked short sword, basically. And yeah, very straightforward, very direct, very pragmatic.
I love it. I was wondering what color this durable jacket and pants might be. Um, and I think whatever it is, we sort of see it begin to gradiate into like a darker charcoal, especially at the sleeves and the shoulders
Yeah.
and the joints. But what color was it so long ago?
So I think from the very few positive interactions they had maybe some form of individual they aspired to, maybe a literal engineer before this person moved away, died, to some form it came strange to him, and it would be like an engineering workers vest
Okay.
with little short sleeves, and under this a very thick cloaked shirt, and it originally being of a dark chocolate brown.
Right. I like that. I like that. Um, I think I think it would have this sort of I like this like additional shoulder protection here. I think
Yeah,
that it has removable sleeves.
yeah,
Realizing that you don't always need that much protection, and you can't always have that much protection to go in and do minute stuff. And so I think we see a almost like magnetic ring in the top of the shoulder, and a clasp up under the arm where that sleeve, you literally just pull it up and it sort of magnetically aligns
Yeah.
outside. And then underneath, you just sort of fold over this relatively flat locking mechanism to hold it in place.
Very brawnyly built.
Yeah,
They also, it's like they have to remove that, or else he does not get at all the edges and corners and nooks, where he
right.
has to get to make some adjustments here and there in some of the engineerings.
It is
And
also sort of ruched at the elbow,
yeah,
and there's excess material which almost accordion like folds away at the elbow so that you get full range of motion in it.
I think mostly the sleeves would be rolled up though, and the hands and arms always covered in some kind of dark stain, and it depends on the day if that is soot or blood.
Yeah, I think that the jacket has a similar sort of closure from about the middle of the arm down. And when you pull that magnetic closure apart, you can pretty much fold the first half of the arm up. And the split is on the inside, so that if you bend your arm, you could it doesn't pull as well. It's obviously very thoughtfully designed.
That's very nice. I like that.
Sweet. Do you wear a hat?
No, I think on the picture they would not wear a hat. I think it's a sense of impracticality. You don't really need
Sure.
it.
Okay. You do also have a set of welding goggles as part of
Yeah,
your toolkit.
yeah,
Uh,
that
and
on
and I imagine some small. You can't do any like big jobs with it, but if you needed to tack something on the fly and then come back and finish the job, you've got some sort of unit, which I imagine is something akin to like a welding rod that sort of folds into a device that has an almost battery like pack to it.
Yeah.
Um, Again, small jobs. What else? I think that's about it. Sweet. I'm Hadley. He, him pronouns. Call me DMing
Mhm.
Hadley. Call me anytime. Just don't call me late for dinner. Um, all right. This is going to be both quick and dirty. But the fact that it's just you and me, baby, means we're gonna get a lot done in a little bit of time. Uh, what wakes up Atlan in the morning?
So I think Alan is in as he's always is, and in some um yeah, in some form of housing and temporary housing. He just jumps from where he can sleep or crash to the next place, just finding some shelter. He doesn't need a home. He just goes where he can sleep, basically.
How
And
long does he sleep on any given night?
oh, I don't think he would sleep very much. He's very tacted, almost militarily, like 4 to 6 hours.
Uh, have you gotten to the point that you don't even really look for a place anymore?
Sometimes I would think so. If he's if I think I will use I if I become especially tagged out, it would just be like an in an indention on incraning somewhere that is warm, maybe from pipes or something,
Oh,
where you
there's a
can
lot
just
of those.
yeah, we can just lay in and rest a bit. Maybe even have the advantage of not being seen directly from anyone.
Uh, let's start with that. I think we see you in not even an alleyway, like a niche in between these two buildings. And we see you, your head's propped up on a couple of boards draped in some seemingly discarded fabric. And see you dozing, I would not say comfortably. Uh, but as you start to stir, you hear and it starts to thrum louder, and it is sort of offset by the hiss of steam moving through the pipes, which, as you open your eyes, run up about 25 feet and then come out overhead and then turn out onto the street where you hear that whirring, growing, disturbingly louder.
Yeah. So if that wakes him, um, in a very set frame of motions, he goes through his person, the few belongings he has, he keeps dear, and checks if everything is there on him or at his side, and if that is dealt with, get an get a better understanding of his surroundings.
Yeah.
And
As you stand up, we see you. You've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. You run your two fingers down your bandolier, and bam, bam, bam. You can feel each one of these tools in their respective place. Everything's where it belongs. You reach down into your bag and you pat, bang, or yeah, you reach into the bag. Everything's on. That was unmolested. You were sleeping on it for all intents and purposes. It does match the curvature of your back as it was designed. Efficiency is very important. Ergonomics means that you don't break down as soon, so you can work more.
yeah,
And as you reach down and check your belts, we see those patinaed, steely gray handles, and then we start to see a a mist rise up around you, and you realize that if you don't get out of the fucking way right now, you're about to get hosed. And can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the
Also,
save.
I did not really set this very well. It is dark.
That is a 16.
Great. That's actually very good. As you see that spray of water, you realize your time's up. And we see you uh, lean forward with a flash, grab this thin, the edge of the walls of this thin alcove, and propel yourself forward. And we see you come whizzing past what looks like a car wash brush. sort of slapping and spraying as it wipes down the interior of this space, leaving only that alcove with a spray of water on the inside. And as you look back, you see that there's just water dripping down and running with this thin gray black liquid into a drain. You begin to hear it resonate down those pipes. And as you do, we sort of see you follow where those pipes go. And as we follow those pipes down to the next level, we see an even darker sort of corridor down here. And we see that it is much grimier. And it doesn't look like this one gets a regular cleaning. At least not like the level that you've managed to find yourself on in the last few months. Since your apprenticeship began, your sentiments towards being on this level have shifted a little bit. Even if you are still just looking for a place to stay, being able to walk around with tools on your belt and almost go anywhere you want to has been a very new experience for you. And as we see you look back down into the darkness, it looks like this oppressive void.
I think even though he would not he would have no particular destination in mind, he moves with purpose and in a rhythm with his environment, very in
Sure.
tune with this, with a lack of people, just machinery and himself, and just the purpose of being productive, being useful, doing something,
Uh,
and goes beside some oily leaking thing. He just grabs some oil, rubs it in his hand, and goes through with it into his raven hair.
sure.
So you don't even see that it's so oily and black because it just holds the hair back and looks like pomade or something.
I think what we see is as you move across this pathway, which seems to be made of a pressed polymer like tile layout. You put your hand on the far side of that railing, and I think we see on one side of it almost like brushed steel. And as you reach past the other side, you get a nice handful of blackened soot and grime and ash. And I think instinctively the expectation is that's wholly unacceptable. And as you sort of rub it through your hands, we see you come up with your hair pushed back and your face with obvious signs of having been in many a fight in your day. We see you look out and you see this automaton. And you see it has some thin lighting on it, which sort of illuminates the space in front of it and vaguely the space behind it. And you can see that it is squeegeeing off a not inconsiderable amount of grime from the front of all of these shops and businesses and off of the floor as well. Um, and it is still very early in the morning, you assume, as you look up and see a sort of disk of stars. As you look up, there's as much abject darkness almost as when you looked down. But when you look up, it is a very clear circle. It's not a sphere like looking out in the night sky. It is like you are looking up at a telescope pointed towards the sky almost.
I think he's for a moment the pragmatism and um, the driven purpose leaves for just a moment where he looks at the stars, and then steps back into this is reality and goes, "Oh, there, other little fella, early deeds, doing it right, designation routine, momentarily status," and just
Uh,
goes.
yeah, I like that. You start listing stats on this thing. You also notice that there is a sort of collection bin behind this,
Yeah.
and it's just it as you look at it, it's using water to like clean these surfaces, but you see what looks more like a powder being collected inside of this reservoir.
He's just talking to it, even if it doesn't have auditorial voice output or something. Just
Yeah.
talking at it while he checks the the subroutines, checks the mechanisms,
Roll me an
checks
arcana.
the
Roll me an arcana check. This thing is moving in the process, so you're sort of following this thing and examining it. Let's start with arcana.
yeah. Let's do that. That's a four. Digital
Uh,
dice. They always fuck me.
it's well. Here's the thing. It's not quite that advanced. As you go up and inspect it, you realize that it's actually it is steam driven. That there's you've seen these before, never quite so close. You're rarely up this early, or at least you're rarely out on the streets this early. Um, and as you look at it, you realize that it has an anchor point that goes all the way around this circle, and you've never really noticed it before. And you realize that what it has is there are a couple of like copper tubing connectors here, and you see those are probably powering the water spray and any reclamation. And you also see a thin wire, something you don't usually see in a lot of technology. And you imagine very quickly that that must be the lights, but you don't really get it. What that power would be that makes that light look like it does. Um, and as it sort of sweeps around this circular ring, you see there's another one approaching from the other side. And as it does, they sort of moving towards one another. You see a bay door sort of lift up, and you see both of these just sort of like, and then go back into that cavity. And you are left out on a darkened street, which is cleaner than it was about 15 minutes ago.
Well, there goes my good company.
Uh,
And
go ahead.
he just looks about, just takes in the emptiness that is much more preferable to him than actual with all these people out and about, and just savors this for a moment.
As you draw in the sweet aroma of solitude, we hear and a creak from behind you to your left. And I think that there's an almost immediate shock as you whirl around.
Yeah, very much on the edge. So, a instantaneous reaction to this as he goes about and sees what this could be.
As you whip around, you see an older gentleman. He is wheeling out a green canister, which you would know is oxygen. And you can see he has a thin plastic tube that sort of drapes around his ears and into his nose. A cannula, I believe, is what it's called, uh, and a nasal cannula. And he has something else. He's a big box in his arm, and he pushes this door open and turns and goes to set that box down. And then he turns around and looks up at you and he goes, "It's an early morning to be out, isn't it?" And he turns and he starts to go back inside, and the door shuts.
With the box still standing there?
Yeah. Uh,
Listen there, you have forgot something, I believe.
and as you say that, you see the door open again, and you see him dragging his oxygen tank out, and he pays you no mind as he turns and sets down a stack of papers, and then he reaches into a big pocket he's got kind of on an apron, and he pulls out a sprocket, like a big rusty old steel sprocket, and he sets it down on top of that stack of papers.
So Alan being like on impressive or shit. I don't know conversion rates. Like 6 feet is maybe this much.
Less than two
5 feet.
meters. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit less maybe than so five and something. So
Okay.
so like 1.9 meters, something like this. I think that's reasonable for a 16-year-old to be
Sure.
if they are
You're not too.
tall.
You're not. Yeah, I think if you're pulling in at, I mean, I'm 185. I think I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty tall. But 16, you're gonna. I'm 6'2". So I'd probably say 175.
Yeah.
Is probably a pretty tall 16-year-old. You're not quite done growing yet, but
Okay. Yeah.
you're already a pretty strong boy.
Well,
Um,
yeah, asking that. So he comes down, um, elbows on his knees, um, hunkering down, looking at what this individual does.
yeah, he turns once he sets that gear down, and he pulls the door open and starts to hobble his happy ass inside again.
And still squatting there, just like hands on knees, he puts on there. Well, I'm not quite on my morning routine, so I have some time, but I didn't quite understand what you're doing here. But if you need some help,
Yeah, as he sort of walks back in, not really paying you much mind. And a couple minutes, but not even a couple minutes, maybe 30, 40 seconds pass. And all of a sudden he bumps his ass out again. And as he comes out, he's carrying another box. And this box doesn't seem to be as heavy as it is large. And he seems to be moving with, I mean, albeit he's a little old and slow, he doesn't seem to be terribly encumbered. And he sets it down next to the box that was already there. This one much larger. And he turns around and starts to whistle. And he goes back inside again. And after another 30, 45 seconds, he comes back out and he's carrying a very large tray of baked goods. And he sets down this tray. It's a big, almost like cast iron. It's much lighter, but it has that same sort of textured look and oiled sort of seasoning to it. And on it are a bevy of weird little baked bricks of stuff. There's different shapes. Like there's some that look like muffins. There's other that look like French toast sticks. And others that look like power bars. And all of them look to be particularly dense in nature. And all of them look like they've probably been heavily enriched with like spirulina or something.
Yeah. So Atlan, just being very straightforward and practical, just appreciates the efficiency of baking something that has this density and just assuming then also a nutritious richness to it.
Oh, for sure.
And not all a sense of entitlement, but this person puts down a tray. They don't make any efforts to shoo him away, so he goes there and takes one up.
Sweet. Which one do you go for?
I think he in this he just simply takes the power bar.
Okay. Are you gonna have some now, or are you gonna save it for later?
I think just woken up. He can use the nutritious intake and just munches on one and sees what this thing is.
It is unfortunate, is what it is. Uh, you've had worse, for sure. Thin broths that tasted more like licking the dust from under a mattress.
Can I actually roll a persuasion for himself so that he likes it? Because
Roll me a wisdom check.
okay, wisdom. Just square wisdom.
Straight whiz, baby. You're having to convince yourself.
That's a 20.
Yeah, it's not a delightful experience. But I have to say, you haven't had a lot of delightful experiences. So it is at least unique. And it is definitely going to give you all the boost you like. You know that, like, you might not have to eat again for a minute. This thing is so densely packed. And as you're munching, he comes out, and you see him with again, he's got his oxygen tank. He comes out with like a folding chair. And he brings that out and he sets it down beside the big box. And then he reaches into that pocket again and he pulls out a little silver like stand with a card on it that says pastry 6 diamonds.
6 diamonds?
6 diamonds.
Still munching on the thing that he has in hand. I was looking at the price. That retroactively or effective immediately.
He says, "What's that?"
Well, that sign there. Is that retroactively or is that effective immediately?
Oh, did you Oh, yes. I would like payment. Please. I know it's a pittance, but it makes me feel good to have a few coins to toss in the coffer.
Do I have something on me?
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Let's do that one. Dang it, I should have taken up some proficiency. Hey, that's a 19.
As you look into your pocket, you've got 19 diamonds.
I pull out the. I turn to him. Well, I have to say that I'm quite appreciative of these, the efficiency of those. We'll take up the second one from the shifts. Is there something to be made about that price? I'm not quite that wealthy of an individual, if you see.
He actually pulls out another little silver tray, and he sort of reaches. I'm sorry, you wanted one for later, yeah.
If that is all possible.
I'm sure. Here, I have a third. He says. He says, "You like the power bars?
They are quite a good luncheon, I have to say.
Here, have two." And he grabs up two more, and he wraps them in this oilcloth.
Oh,
And
I love that. There's a little bit of a smirk.
and he hands it to you, and you can feel that waxy sort of structure of that fabric as it sort of sticks together. And he says, "That'll be 12."
Might appreciate that. And give him the 12. Can I have an insight check on this individual?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that one. At least an 11.
Um, I mean, 6 diamonds for a meal that'll maybe even get you through the day. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I also want to say this. As you go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know, like, what is he like for an individual? Not necessarily
Oh,
the price.
He's a codger. You're not quite sure what his jam is, but he is up before everyone. And he's already got food on a little box. Most of the businesses around here are just that. They're businesses. People do put out their wares. There's restaurants that put out tables and chairs and stuff like that. But he's out here before all of that. And he just set out, I mean, all he did was set out like papers and this sprocket, which is a real, like, you don't know where that sprocket came from. It's a big one. It's like industrial. It's almost out of place on this level here. And he's got baked goods. That's interesting. That's about, like, you don't really get a read on the guy. He just sort of like sits down and he pulls a small what, like, it looks like he's not knitting. He's doing crochet. He's just got this little thing, and he's just sitting here. He's got on like a medium brown blazer style jacket, and a yellowy sort of shirt, and some like dark green trousers, and boots that were probably very nice 100 years ago.
I rolled an 18 Arcana check. Can I say what this industrial piece of equipment is, or how it has?
Yeah, absolutely. As you look at that gear, you start trying to put it into the machines that you've seen before, and as you look, you almost see this, like, if I put this gear in here, everything just fucking explodes. You see another one where if I put this gear in here, it's not quite big enough to make this mechanism work, and then you think, wait. If I had a larger gear and I put that gear here and locked it in place, and then all of a sudden it comes to you that this is a sort of a reducing gear for a hub of a larger gear, and you start to think about these huge pistons, which are turned very slowly in order to compact all of the carbon that is sequestered here and processed into the diamonds that you use as currency. And that brings us to the diamonds, which now sit in this little silver pan. These densely black veined little like quarter to 3/8 inch stones.
I think he just mutters to himself while he looks at this, and everybody who would look at him see this working, this process of translating this to different images and trying to put the machinery together in his head. And then it clicks, and he just says, "A T.418 translation guild. Damn, they don't even make that anymore."
The guy sort of says, "Oh, did you want a paper too?"
Oh, didn't I have already paid?
Yeah, but he said, "Did you want a paper too?" To you, sort of staring at that gear. He looks up and sees you, and looks back, and sees you staring at the gear, and you read off this like part number and spec number, and his response to you is, "Do you want a paper too?"
I don't quite know what I would do with that, but it's a damn fine piece, at least in a historical sense. Listen, you seem like a damn fine person. Like the streets are a little bit dangerous, especially at this hour. So, and he goes into himself, like meeting this person who seems alright and always looking for the outlying individuals
Right.
that he can much better relate to. He just says, so, like, name is Atlan. So if you have a, on my routines get me everywhere, but I come by here and now. So if you need ever anything like heavy lifting or mainly heavy lifting and mainly mechanical done, I probably could help. So have a nice day and thank you for that one. And goes back for the power bars and pulls it in this slingshot bag and would holler off if he doesn't.
Yeah, you as you start to turn around, we see you sort of don that backpack, and as you do, we see the crook of a cane hook your wrist and pull you back around. And as he pulls you, you see him dexterously yank the top sheet of paper off, and he says, "It's good reading. Here," and he hands you that piece of paper, and then sort of sets his cane down and pulls out a pair of spectacles. And as you take that paper in hand, he sort of puts them on and looks up at you, and he says, "Mechanical work. You're not even 20 and you're doing mechanical work?"
Well, seems to be one of the only things I'm really good for.
Well, it's good for something. He says,
So yeah,
"You're, Atlan, you said?"
that's the name.
"I'm Brent."
And nods at him and extends his large hand.
Yeah, this guy is small and one might even say brittle.
He's very rare that he just extends a hand, and if he is going to, he shakes his hand.
Oh, yeah, he still reaches out and shakes your hand.
Yeah. So
Uh,
he's very rare that turns himself down.
as the two of you shake hands, we see a vivisection of shadow and light. And as this happens, you realize that you're actually more behind than you thought you were. And as that light begins to sort of pour in at this sharp angle, you see this guy look up and start to smile, and he readjusts his glasses as the first light starts to cut in and start to be reflected in this tremendous concave series of polished like mirrors. And as the light hits, it bounces around inside of these this like huge circle. I mean, it is more than a half mile wide and many stories tall. This sort of ring now of illumination bouncing around, and these mirrors beginning to adjust as day has broken. And it comes on very suddenly, and you realize that the term "burning daylight" is not a metaphor here. You don't get but maybe about 6 to 8 hours of daylight a day,
Mhm.
and so it shan't be wasted. And we see him as he trundles back to his chair and sits down and grabs one of the thinner sticks and begins to munch somewhat begrudgingly. And see you turn tail and run towards your work.
Yeah. Highland Engineers writing. Have a good day.
As you turn and book it, we see you come around uh, this this curve, and you've got to make quite the path around here. And just when you get to the lift, which takes you from level to level, you see that it is out. And you see actually a couple of guys. They're already starting to work on it, but it's obvious that's not going to be done soon.
Can I make a survival check to see if I know like the hidden passages and
With advantage.
yeah. Let's
Call
do
it call it your favored terrain.
in a sense. That's a 17 and 9, so the 17.
Okay. As you look around, you look back like 1,000 yards. Yeah. And you see the lift almost on the other side of this whole arcing circle. And you're like, I'm already late. And then we see you step forward and look over the edge of that banister. And from below, we can see your fingertips as they sort of sink into that grimy side of the banister. And as they do, we see you rock backwards and then launch yourself over it. Can I get an athletics check, please?
Yeah, suddenly. Damn those digital dice. 6.
As you make the first jump, it's not so bad. But you feel your right foot skid out from underneath you, and you're in a bad position as you catch a drain pipe and whirl around and realize now you're too low to get back up onto the rooftop. and you slam into a cinder block wall, and we just see this boof of black soot just across half of your face almost, and all over your tools, which looked pristine 5 minutes ago. And we see you start to slide down this brick face. Can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yeah, of course, of course. Switching to other dice
Switching to real dice.
because this is ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's a 13. What was dexterity? I think I have +1, so 14.
14. As you land, we see you on this like second level down. There are lots of tiers to the building that you just landed on top of. And as you slide down that brick face, we see another graveled rooftop. All of these rooftops are designed to drain away water. So there's lots of pipes and lots of little steam vents as well. And we see you tumble back through one of these blow-off valves, letting steam out. And as you look out, we see a pole or a pipe running right beneath you. And as you realize what's going on, we see you land with one leg, and then the second one sort of slips off, and you into this like one knee up sitting position on this pipe, with this like smear of your back through this soot. And as you look to your right down this pipe is wide enough for you to stand on now. You can see the artificer's shop that you work for, and his name is Pascal. And you turn and look, and the only way down from here is down. And roll me an athletics check as you go running along this pipe. This is the first time you've climbed across rooftops and swung from the steam pipes.
So that is a beautiful 19 plus 2 is 21.
Very good. As you go sprinting down this pipe, we see you lean into this leap. And as you do, we actually see that this level here goes down a lot deeper than where you are right now. And we see you cover the distance between these two structures as if you'd done it 1,000 times. And we see you hot-footing it through this gravel, kicking up little clouds of soot and exposing the light gray of the rock that hasn't seen that thick settling on it yet. And we see you run ahead and leap down from this building to the next, and now it's starting to get even easier. As you get 2 more blocks, we see you slide down an obviously irregularly used ladder onto a street level. And you see the only real like neon around here is Pascal's. And you just see the sign is like 3 gears that look like they're turning as the neon flashes back and forth. And as you stride through the doorway, we see a gentleman standing there. He's got a sort of silvery gray mess of curls that hang around his face. And he lifts up a set of reading glasses to his forehead, and he says, "Unimpressive. You're late again." And unfortunately, that is where I'm going to have to leave you tonight.
Yeah.
Um, but I look forward to delving into this character more and into this world as you make friends and drive this narrative. There's going to be plenty of hooks here for you to seize upon, but the choices you make will really, really, really. It's a very open world feel right now. So it is going to be very much informed by the choices you make.
I can feel it. That's very interesting. I really love that concept. And I will make a little bit of fleshing out, but I think I will keep it mostly as freeform because I
I
do.
have found, especially in the one-on-one style games, that a little daydreaming is about all you need.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will just put into sets what we had done this basically session, and then I think I will just make some slots about like relations and
yeah,
just very rough thing about there is a person that is that and that to them
yeah,
and
I love it.
something like that.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I really had a great time tonight. I'm glad we got to
I
do
really
this.
did too, and thank you that you considered running it for just a
Oh,
lonesome me.
absolutely. It's funny because the duets or one-on-one games, there, it was. God, it's been 2 years now almost since I ran, or a year and a half since I ran my first one-on-one game. I had a game where there was like 5 or 6 people who were supposed to show up, and one guy showed, and I was like, "Listen, man, I came to play Dungeons and Dragons tonight." And he was
Yeah,
like, "Well, so did I." And I was like, "Then let's play Dungeons and Dragons." And it was
I
just,
also
ugh,
last time I did it, it was reverse rolled. I was the DM for that, and
yeah,
I also enjoyed that so much. And it was the same feeling here.
so
I was
powerful.
really in tune to what you described. I was like this, just because I made the reference at the start. It was all in arcane style for me. Just like
Right?
this sequence,
Sure, sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
that delving to this very mechanical steampunk surroundings,
Yeah,
with this sheen of like steamed and reddish or orange glow of engines and crucibles in the background, and
yeah,
just this forest, this dense forest of pipework.
yeah. It's true. It's exactly right. Beautiful. So, unfortunately, I must bid you adieu and au revoir.
Yeah,
And
things to do.
well, I remind you as always to be good, take care of yourselves, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. And if you do get caught, don't talk to the cops. All right, bye everybody.
It was Hadley's fault.
It was my fault. You can always blame. Listen, you can always blame me. Bye. Sweet.
Hi, Jimbo.
Hello, Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo.
Hello. Hi,
It's
everybody.
been a minute.
Too many minutes.
It has.
Too many minutes.
Look at your mustache.
Where?
The one on your face.
I must ask you a question.
But I'll shave it for later.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Yes.
Huh?
Okay, thanks. You had a
Hmm?
question, comment, or secret ambition?
No.